Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, student. How is your life? I hope you are great today. And now I am so glad to greet you. Student, let's continue our discussion. In this discussion, we will study the various types of symbiosis. Is one living thing related to other living things? Did you know that living things can live on their own? Not yet? Okay, don't worry, because I will explain the various symbiosis. So, now please listen to me. Here we go. Symbiosis grouping is divided into three. Every living thing depends on other living things. No living being can live alone. That is good. Create his different creatures to complement each other. This depends is like that between bees and flowers. Relationships are also carried out with other animals, such as ants. A swarm of ants work together to leave the food. In this way, the less powerful animals are naturally lucky. They can rely on stronger animals. Relationships between living things are unique and some are not. Do you know what is the difference between these two relationships? Look at the following example to understand it. Butterflies land on flowers to sell honey. Butterflies get honey only from flowers. Apart from flowers, there are no other plants that provide liquid honey. Therefore, butterflies and flowers form a distinctive relationship. The typical relationship between living things is called symbiosis. In nature, three are there kinds of symbiosis left, namely mutualism symbiosis, parasitism symbiosis, and commensalist symbiosis. First, mutualist symbiosis. Symbiosis mutualis is a relationship between living things that benefit both parties. As the name implies, mutualis. Each individual will get quality or profit. An example of symbiosis mutualis is the relationship between flowers and bees. Bees need the honey found in hibiscus flowers as food. Hibiscus flowers need bees to help in the pollination process. Starling and buffalo. Buffaloes benefit by eliminating the fleas attached to their bodies, while starlings benefit from getting food in the form of fleas. Tips of fungi and lichens. The fungus on lichens serves as a protector and absorber of water and mineral. Algae that live among the fungal mycelium function to provide food through photosynthesis. Lichens are organisms that are the result of a symbiosis mutualis. The fungus on lichens cannot live alone in nature. This is an example of symbiosis mutualis. Second, parasitism symbiosis. Parasitic symbiosis is a relationship between two types of living things that benefit one party but harm the other. An example of symbiosis parasitic is a parasite plant with its host. Parasites in fruit, seed, plants, and green leaves. The roots of the parasite are not perfect, so they are not able to absorb water and nutrients directly from the soil. To meet the need for water and nutrients, parasites feed on the branches of other types of plants. Then, the roots in the form of a section which will penetrate into the transport network of the plants they are carrying. Then the parasite will absorb the water and nutrients dissolved in it, so that the host plant suffers losses because the water and nutrients that will be used for life are absorbed by the parasite. As a result of the parasite's activities, usually the ends of the twigs of the plants they are carrying become smaller, thinner, and eventually die. Princess root with hair host. The princess root that directly takes the essence of the food that has been managed or in the photosynthesis of the host. So, the princess root lives depend on parasites by taking ready-made food juice. Then, the plants attached to the princess root will die faster. This is an example of symbiosis parasites. Third, commensalist symbiosis. Commensalist symbiosis is a relationship between two types of living things that benefit one party while the other does not get anything, or the other party is neither harmed nor benefited. An example of a commensalist symbiosis is the relationship between a clownfish and a sea anemone. In nature, the presence of clownfish in anemones can protect it from the aggressiveness of several types of fish such as anglefish or butterfly fish that will prey on its tentacle. On the other hand, the clownfish uses the anemone as a shelter from its natural enemies. Without the protection of the anemone, the clownfish can only survive a few minutes before being eaten by the enemy. The relationship between friends and their host plant. The friend plants benefit from the form of housing, while the host does not get any benefit and is not harmed. This is an example of commensalist symbiosis. Okay, student, that's a case of symbiosis. Based in our discussion, the types of symbiosis are divided into three, namely mutualist symbiosis, parasitist symbiosis, and commensalist symbiosis. Do you agree with me? Great. At this point, any question? If there are no questions, now try to do homework. Okay, student, I think that's all of our talk today. Thanks for listening to me. Keep motivated. See you next time. Bye. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.